much is everything in your home worth? If you were made a cash offer for it all, what would you keep and what would you sell? Welcome to Secret Dealers.
I'm about to let our team of antique dealers into two houses they've never seen before.
What an amazing place.
With thousands of pounds of their own money at stake, their expert knowledge will be put to the test as they compete against each other to discover the best items to leave secret bids on.
I'm just going to leave a bid on this for Devon.
On today's show, there are some surprising bids.
Quite astonished.
Ooh.
And lots of cash handed over.
There you are, you've never seen a £50 note before, have
No,
you?
I haven't.
Smell that.
For our first house, we're off to an extended 18th century cottage in Devon. Inside, this rambling property is filled to the brim with china, paintings and all sorts of antique knickknacks. Most of these items have been inherited by Francis, who married his Canadian wife Winifred last year. Now they are living here together, it's time to make some space. But that could be easier said than done.
Will be quite hard to decide which ones to part with, and it'll be a wrench to see them go no matter. Well, what I have here are Inkwells, and one of them is in perfect condition, very heavy. It came from my father, and I might be prepared to part with that. And the other is a writing slope with my grandfather's initials and was given to him on his 21st birthday. So having pledged that at a pawnbroker once and redeemed it, I might want to hold on to that as it is of sentimental value.
Francis is also very attached to items that belong to his mother, like this dome-top chest. It's bound to attract the attention of our dealers for its wonderful geometric patterns, known as parquetry. Any money that is raised will go towards the upkeep of their home and into repairing this converted truck, so they can take it travelling to festivals.
And you want me to live in this with you?
But before they can hit the road, some difficult decisions have to be made.
What makes you think that potentially today you could get rid of some of these things?
Really, I have got to the point in life where I can't collect anymore and I can't certainly take it with me, so time for some of it to be turned into cash, because I can use the cash.
But what about sentimental attachment? What about the emotional appeal that they've got for you?
I shall feel a certain wrench if I do decide to sell certain things.
Is it because of their attachment to family people?
Some of them I've known since I was a child, and they're just part of the furniture as far as I'm concerned.
Well, one thing's for sure, your house is certainly unique. And those dealers are very privileged to be allowed inside. So I'm sure they will make the most of it.
And faced with this rare opportunity are Simon Schneider, David Ford and David Tupman.
This house is a dealer's dream. Because inside, it's stuffed full of antiques that have been collected many years ago and left in this house untouched.
Okay.
Go and have a look.
Thanks,
Right.
Kate. Let's go.
Thanks, Kate.
Come on then, boys. Put your buying boots on.
My word. Okay. What a collection of stuff.
You said it. David has a particular interest in porcelain and pictures, so there's plenty to catch his eye in this house.
Good old prints. I mean, some of them are very desirable.
David Tupman should be in his element too, as the house is packed full of Oriental ceramics, which he specialises in.
Chinese, 18th century Chinese mug, but smashed to bits.
And someone who is always able to find something he likes is Simon Schneider, who loves stylish decorative antiques.
Okay, well, we've got a gallery inkwell here. Now, you'd expect this to be silver. I think it might be silver and wood.
That's the inkstand that's come down from Francis's grandfather.
It's called a gallery inkwell because it's got a gallery all the way through around it. It's actually a very nice inkwell. It's Victorian. It's got a little queen's head on the hallmark, and it was made in London. This is quite unusual. You've got the sort of little chamber stick on the top there, where you would have a small candle that would burn to melt your sealing wax to seal the envelope after you'd written your letter. It's a very nice thing. Let's just check the bottles. What I'm looking for here really is to see if they're the same marks as the inkwell itself, which they appear to be. So I'm going to have to leave a strong bid on it because I'd like to own it.
Go for it, Simon. But will it be enough to tempt Francis? Meanwhile, David Ford has found another treasured possession, the dome-top chest that belonged to Francis's mother.
This is a continental little box, parquetry all the way around here. I mean, the difference between parquetry and parquetry is always very uniform like this, whereas marquetry is usually flowers or free form. Quite like boxes.
While David Ford and Simon are having no trouble finding things they want to buy, David Tupman is struggling.
And then moving across, we've got a Chinese Songbird vase, but it's got a chip on it. Cantonese vase, which again is damaged around the top. And then we've got a collection of Delft pharmaceutical jars. These are quite charming, but again damaged.
David, how you doing?
There's a lot of porcelain and pottery that's 18th century, but all of it is damaged.
Right.
So if you get £1,000 for something perfect, it's worth £100 damaged.
And that's a real pity for Francis. But maybe the larger inkwell he wants to sell will get a bid from Simon.
This is, again, a very nice example of a very heavy cut glass base with a silver lid, well hallmarked for Birmingham, and it's probably made about 1920. Make sure there's no damage. This one's even got its original little ink bucket inside it, and I'm going to leave a bid on that one too. A bit of Victorian furniture.
So there we go.
Got a small collection of meerschaum pipes here, beautifully carved.
Meerschaum is the name of the Black Sea mineral they are carved from and means sea foam.
A very decorative 20th century Dalton vase. And if we're looking at that vase, we can see these lovely cobwebs. You're looking for stuff that's new to the market, that hasn't been through an auction, that hasn't been in the trade. Well, there you go. That's how it looks when it comes out of a real private home. So that's a nice thing to see. I like the cobwebs.
Now what's David Tupman spotted?
We've got a couple of inkwells here, I see, that Simon's already left prices on. An English silver desk inkwell, lovely big chunky inkwell, and I think I'm going to leave a bit on that as well, because it's actually rather nice and it's not damaged. So we'll try and give Simon a little bit of a run for his money.
David, do I hear you get a bit happier?
Well, not that happy, because I see Simon's also left a bit on it. Have I left enough?
I don't know, all I know is Simon really liked it, but I tell you
did he?
what,
What?
he liked the inkstand
I'm going
better.
for that as well, so I'm just going to get that over. Let's pick up the inkstand and have a look at it. It seems to be in pretty good condition. Right. Well, we've got competition, so we've got to leave a decent bit on it.
That's 2 bids for Francis's family heirloom, but are they enough to part him from it? Francis and Winifred want to raise money to get their truck back on the road, and our canny dealers have been rummaging through their crammed home, making secret offers on Francis's treasured possessions.
We'll leave that on that.
Now, Francis has a lot of paintings by well-known 20th century artists, and one in particular has caught David's eye.
It's very primitive, isn't it?
Charming.
It's by Mary Adshead, and her paintings hang in the Tate Gallery. An oil like this is worth hundreds of pounds.
She's very
Quite
well
interesting.
sought
Yes,
after.
yes.
I
have
think
heard
that's
of her.
particularly nice. I mean, people always love seaside
Simple
scenes.
and
It is
primitive.
simple. It's got a little bit of a naivety about it, hasn't it?
Yes. Thanks for your guidance. I'll get my little card out.
I think I've persuaded David to put a tempting bid on that.
That's me.
Upstairs, Simon's also found Francis's precious parquetry box that's already got a bid from David Ford.
Definitely a continental look. Who knows? I think I'll have a little go at it though.
And let's just look at this one behind.
Having a go in the china cupboard is David Tupman, who's found a pair of beautifully decorated Chinese vases.
19th century Chinese, quite an unusual and interesting decoration. It's got the Chinese years, the year of the dragon, the year of the rat, but it is damaged. If we go back over the far side there, we find the pair to that vase, which is interesting. Look, here we go, cracks as well. Crack, crack, crack. Dear, quite disappointing, because I quite like those. I think I'll leave a price on them, because they make a sort of a good pair of lamps.
Antique dealers want things that are a little bit different and of real quality. Francis's inkstand has it all, so it's no surprise David Ford has now got his hands all over it.
Isn't that lovely? Silver, it's dated 1896.
What do you think of it?
I think it's lovely. Like it. I see, so the other fellas like it too.
Yeah, I think Simon particularly likes it. Yeah, it's going to have to be a good one, David.
I know.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Simon and David Tupman are both pretending not to like the parquetry box.
Yeah, I left a little bit on that. I didn't think it was a marvellous bit.
Boxes like that, especially with dome tops, aren't particularly saleable.
No, I agree.
So I shall leave a low bid.
That's what I've done. 15 quid.
So I can leave 18 then.
Come on, boys. We all know it's worth a lot more than that, and we'll find out later just who likes it most.
Down the front.
There's just enough time for a few last bids and to check on the items they want most. David sneaked back to look at that pair of Chinese vases.
I see that someone's come and put a bid on the pair of vases. And I quite like those, so I'm going to up my bid on those slightly, I think, just to make sure I can buy them.
And Simon's checking up on the inkstand he first spotted.
Hello, where's my inkwell gone?
And he's not happy.
Oh, it's over there now. They've all had a little go at it.
Well, if you really want it, there's only one thing you can do, Simon. Raise your bid.
It was the first thing I saw, and it's the thing I like most.
Could there now be enough cash on offer to tempt Francis to sell? We'll find out later. But first, there's just one thing I want to show our dealers.
OK, it looks like a wormy bit of wood, but it is actually a gingerbread mould. But on the walls, you have plaster made from this actual mould.
But in terms of commercial value...
I think you're a load of old Philistines. Anyway, time's up. It's too late. I'll see you in a minute.
OK, bye.
So they didn't go for the gingerbread mould, but the boys were very busy elsewhere, leaving bids on 35 of Francis and Winifred's possessions. And there are certain items they are particularly keen on.
My favourite item in the house, I think, was the double inkwell, which I loved.
My favourite item today was easily the pierced inkwell. I think it's a gorgeous example, and I'd love to own it.
There was one picture that I really liked, and I made a bid for that, but it'll be interesting to find out whether I've bought it.
Well, let's see what Francis and Winifred think of our dealers' offers and how much they all add up to.
So, what did it feel like letting 3 dealers in there? You're not used to letting strangers in your house, are you?
Took them 7 years to let me in the house.
So, in this envelope is the amount you could walk away with today.
Oh my goodness.
What?
£5,535.
Oh my goodness.
So how do you feel? I mean, that is a serious amount of money, is it not?
Well, I'd like to know how it all breaks down and, you know, who's bidding for what, really.
Well, Francis, it's time to find out. First, it's the pair of Chinese vases David Tupman likes so much he snuck back at the last minute to up his bid.
Do you like them, Winifred?
Yes, it's the first I've seen them, actually.
Well, they are Chinese. They're typical Chinese blue and white, actually. They date from the 19th century. They're painted with these beautiful animals. You've got everything from tigers to antelopes. But you have got some condition issues here. Nevertheless, 2 dealers have left you a bid. David Ford has bid you £175.
Yes.
What do you think? Would you sell them for that?
I might consider it.
Well, the independent valuation on these is between £200 and £300
Right.
in their present condition.
Yes.
David Tupman
Yes.
says 250.
Right. Well, that's interesting. I'll take 250 and clear some space.
That's a sale.
Yeah.
Good for you!
Thrilled. Really unusual vases. Would have been worth a lot of money if they're perfect. As it is, I'm really just pleased to buy them for that.
The next decision for Francis could be a really tough one because it's that precious chest that belonged to his mother and there's a hidden surprise inside.
It was my mother's, and I don't really know where she obtained it, but I remember it from when I was little. It has a secret drawer in it.
Show me the secret drawer.
It's in here behind a panel. It's not easy to find or get into.
Ah, so that panel lifts up and then
That's
it
right.
reveals the drawer.
That's right.
And you can keep all your secret things, your love letters or your special photographs. Well, the secret drawer is a lovely little feature, isn't it? And you've got a walnut interior, but if you look at the outside of the box, you've got this lovely inlay of specimen woods in what's known as parquetry.
Yeah.
And that goes all the way around the sides, even on the back. You showed me the secret drawer. I've got 3 secret bids. All 3 dealers want your chest. Simon's bid you £120.
Not inclined to sell for that.
No, it doesn't tempt you. Independent valuation on this is between £150 and £250. David Ford says 70.
No.
We're not going in the right direction yet,
No,
are
we're
we?
not. No, not at all.
David Tupman says 180.
Well, it's in the right direction, but it's not enough for me to be interested in taking it. For that sort of money, you couldn't
Exactly.
even make the lid of that today.
No sale.
No sale.
Would have liked to have bought it actually, for the money that I left on it. So I'm a little bit sad about that, but you know, can't buy it all.
I think Francis was just too attached to that box to let it go. Up next, it's that large inkwell that both David and Simon were after.
Now, as inkwells go, this is a pretty hefty one, isn't it?
It's certainly quite heavy.
Where did it come from, Francis?
I don't know. I think my father's family.
Well, Simon and David Tupman have left you bids on this.
Yes.
OK. Simon has left you a bid of £130.
Perhaps a little on the low side.
Well, the independent valuer has actually said an inkwell like this, based on a sort of auction price, would be between £200 and £300.
Yes.
So it is perhaps a little bit on the mean side. You're looking at this one, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yes.
OK. David Tupman, he really liked this. He says £320.
Does it indeed? Well, that's a bit more like it, really. Yes.
I'm quite astonished,
It's
actually.
more than double the other bid, so
Yes.
do you think I should?
Oh, you're putting it on me. I don't know. It is your decision.
I have to say, if you put that into auction, it might make £200.
Right.
You've then got to pay commission.
True. Yeah.
David Tupman has bid you £320.
Yes.
No commission, cash.
I think I
Expenses.
will have to accept his offer.
That's a huge bid by David Tupman, and I'm sure he wished he'd bid less.
Nice item, probably left a little bit too much in it, judging by Simon's bid, but I'm reasonably happy that I bought it.
David put down a bid that was just too good for Francis to refuse. But our other dealers didn't stay empty-handed for long. Francis also sold 2 Victorian meerschaum pipes for £210 to Simon, and his 19th century inlaid table also to Simon for £120. A Royal Dalton stoneware vase was sold to David Ford for £145. But now it's crunch time. Our dealers all want this prized Victorian inkstand. But will any of the bids be strong enough to come between Francis and his treasured family heirloom?
It was a present to my father's father on his 21st birthday.
Pretty special 21st present.
Yes.
It's English silver, it's Victorian, and it's quite unusual, the combination with ebony. Independent valuation on this is between £500 and £700.
Well, I'm glad I got it back off the pawnbrokers. There is a pawn ticket where I pawned it for £65 once.
Well, all 3 dealers have left you a bid on this.
OK.
Let's look at David Ford first. David Ford says £400.
Well, that's a tidy sum, but maybe on the low side again.
Let's see if the other 2 bids can change your mind, perhaps. Simon says £620. Tell me what you're thinking, Francis. Would you sell it for that amount?
No.
Why not?
I have 2 sons. Maybe I would like to pass something on to them in their family name. And there's very, very little left to pass on.
David Tupman says 620.
Oh, he's equalled it. Regretfully, I think I'm going to have to decline.
No sale?
No sale.
I think the Inkwell was a fantastic thing. I think, irrespective of how much was offered for it today, it wouldn't have been sold because the owner obviously really values it, and I can quite understand why.
Simon's right. That inkstand meant too much to Francis to let it go out of the family, and it isn't the only thing that's staying. Francis also turned down David Tupman's offer on an assortment of 18th century pharmaceutical jars. David Ford's bid on a Chinese giltwood 19th century Buddha. And what about that oil-on-panel picture by 20th century artist Mary Adshead?
David Ford has bid you 480.
Yes, that is a very good offer.
But Francis felt it could be an investment to keep hold of for the future.
I'm not taking that bid. That's going to be worth 4 figures much sooner than you think.
In total, our dealers bid on over £5,500 worth of items, but Francis was just too attached to some of his belongings to let them go. So let's find out just how much they have made and how much cash you could pocket in today's competition.
This hasn't been easy, has it?
Not terribly, no.
But you've made a start.
Yes.
And you have actually made today £1,775.
Oh, that's rather more than I thought, actually. I can take it all in cash now.
You can take it all.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll
You're doing
count
quite
it.
well now.
There you are, you've never seen a £50 note before, have
No,
you?
I haven't.
That's
Oh,
what
it's
they
pink.
look like. Yeah. Go on then. Smell that.
How exciting is that?
Oh, very exciting indeed.
I think he's feeling better now.
Where our antique experts have already spent over £1,700 in Francis and Winifred's home.
Take it all.
Go on then. Smell that.
Next, we're off to this Georgian cottage in Northamptonshire. Inside, this tastefully decorated home has been furnished with period pieces and a cornucopia of collectibles in keeping with the age and character of this 3-bedroom property. Petrolhead Hamish, who works in motor racing, has lived here for 11 years. Hamish has been collecting antiques since he was a little kid, and after he moved in, it didn't take him long to fill the place up.
I definitely got the collecting bug. I'm afraid that it's almost an obsession. If there's a spare space or an empty surface, then it has to be filled.
But now it's time to make some space amongst all this manly clutter for his girlfriend Lucy, who is going to be moving in soon, but not before a few items have been shown the door.
I'm hoping to sell this lamp. It's a 1970s studio pottery lamp, English, by Bernard Rooke, with its original shade. And it was actually the shade that attracted me the most, but it just doesn't fit in anymore, and I'd happily see it go.
Also on the hit list is this Victorian gilt mirror, a gift from a previous girlfriend. Let's hope our dealers take a shine to it.
Now, Hamish, this is a bit of a bachelor pad, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it's a very masculine abode.
But I think you've actually got a great eye, because you've got what I would call some really serious traditional antiques mixed in with some later items.
If something has a story behind it and it's attractive, there's always space for it.
Well, you've certainly got a certain style, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what the dealers make of it. And talking of them, they're going to be here any minute, so it is time to go.
Well, I hope that they like it, and we'll see how we get on.
Well, there's plenty here to catch the eye, and ready to rummage are Karen, Tim and Brenda.
Hi, you three. Now, I have got a bit of a bachelor pad for you today.
Like a bachelor.
Oh, and there is an outhouse. Don't go without having a look in there. Ooh. Right, you better get started.
Right, come on then.
Come on then.
Oh, this is nice, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Right.
Karen's a real all-rounder when it comes to antiques and will have a go at anything if it's got the look.
It's supposed to be a military hat box and we've got coal in. I'll put a bid on the tin because I quite like it.
Also one for unusual interior decorations is Tim.
Wow. I love it. Quite
Who
silly.
got the collecting bug when he was 8 and by the time he was 18 had become a full-time dealer.
These riding boots, left and right, original trees. Very, very interior decorators material. A bit like the contents of the house. There.
Brenda used to specialise in 19th century furniture and the first thing to catch her eye is an occasional table.
Sweet little table.
It looks Georgian, but is in fact a much later Victorian reproduction.
Quite sweet in mahogany, little ebony handles. Probably 1870, that sort of period. I like the little bit of inlay here. It almost looks like an Aladdin's lamp, but it's tiny and nice for little cottagers.
You've really got to know what you're looking at when buying antiques, as occasionally things aren't what they seem.
Now have a look at these mirrors. We've actually got a pair here. And this is what's known as a pier glass in the Queen Anne style. But if you have a look at the back of this one, you can see it's pretty new. And what the maker has done is take old glass with a lovely beveled edge, but put it in a new frame. Looks pretty good though. The question is, what are the dealers going to make of them?
Upstairs, Karen sniffed out a 1940s biscuit tin. I hope she's not looking for snacks.
William Crawford's biscuit tin. This is actually quite nice, called the House of Knowledge, unlike me. I'll leave a bit on that, I think.
Aha! First to spot the Queen Anne style mirrors is Tim.
Now, I know that they look a bit, misty, but that is the look. Some people see these and think, oh, they need reglazing, but they're not period. They're just copied to give the look. Because these are like a Queen Anne style, and if these were Queen Anne, they'd be worth thousands of pounds, but they're not Queen Anne.
Well done, Tim. But they are still a very attractive pair and worth a few bob, so don't be mean with your bid.
And a motorbike.
You never know what you're going to find in this house, and you never know what those dealers are going to bid on.
It's an enamel sign and it's from London. Anybody with the name Bacon would be keen to buy that. There won't be another one. They're one-offs.
If Brenda can see a market for something, she's sure to leave a bid. In the hallway, Karen is reflecting on that large Victorian gilt mirror Hamish was given by an ex-girlfriend.
Bit of damage on it. Don't mind the size. Mid-19th century, gilded. A lot of deterioration in the glass, but that doesn't bother me. I actually quite like that because I like mirrors to look like they're antique mirrors.
Hamish will be pleased.
Now, where I come from, they call these mill scissors for cutting the cloth. And at one time, they did quite decent money, but the paint's off those a little bit, so it needs to be a snip.
Now, you remember that lamp Hamish is also keen to sell? It's been banished to the outhouse. It's similar to Troika ceramics, which were made in Cornwall at the same time and which sell for hundreds of pounds.
No, there's a 60s lamp there. I better just check the make, because it could be a Troika. Right, I can't see any mark on that. No, it's very much Cornish Troika style. The trouble is, if it's not Troika and it's one of the associated factories, the price just plummets. But it's got a look, so we'll have a go for that reason.
While Karen and Brenda are finding lots they want to buy, Tim is finding not everything is what it seems.
Is that genuine? No, it's not. Made in India, $24. It's not happening for me here.
No, you're struggling.
I am struggling.
What's the problem, Tim? It's not like you.
It's all not quite right.
You're saying it's not quite old enough?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I am, yeah.
So it's got an interior decorator's look?
But it's not
Right.
there for me.
There are some old pieces.
Yeah, I know, there are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not the pieces that I want, you see.
Fussy?
Very fussy.
Oh, that mirror.
Well, there are some highly saleable antiques to be had in this house, and it's the girls who are making the running.
On that. Oh, look, who's been here?
Brenda's getting in a bid on the large gilt mirror, and she spotted the pair of Queen Anne-style mirrors.
They are early, and there's a bid on here, so if Tim's going for it, he knows his stuff.
while Karen is sweeping up in the bedrooms. She's after the mahogany occasional table.
Brenda's already here.
And some of the larger pieces of furniture.
This again is another good piece. It's a chest on chest. Obviously, chest of drawers on chest of drawers. Georgian, 18th century, and the patination's really nice.
This is just the sort of genuine antique that Tim was after. And speak of the devil.
I'm just going to leave a bid on this for Devilman.
Used to like you, Tim.
I hope that bid's not as cheeky as he is.
Right, you lot, time's up.
Well, I got to go 'cause I'm running out of cards.
Where's Brenda? Brenda? Come on. Out you go. Go on then.
Despite Tim not finding much he wanted to buy in Hamish's house, in total, an impressive 50 items were bid on.
I had strong competition today with the Golden Girls, and I think that they probably, both of them, bought a lot more than I did because I was a little bit mean.
Well, luckily for Hamish, Brenda and Karen maxed out. But which of his possessions do they most want to take home?
I like the mirror, the gilt mirror. I've just sold one to a customer, so I've got just a space for it.
Loved the gilt mirror in the hallway. Loved it the minute I saw it. I mean, it's just the most lovely size.
We'll find out what they bid on it later. Time now to get Hamish back in and reveal just how much is on offer.
Well, Hamish, those dealers had a great time.
Good. I look forward to seeing what's in your envelope.
Well, in here is the total amount on offer today.
Right.
So that's what you could make if you sell everything.
OK, am I looking now?
Have a little look.
£6,295.
So how do you feel when there's that much on the table?
Quite excited.
Because now it's time to go and have a look and see exactly what the dealers have bid on and whether you want to sell or not.
Our secret dealers have offered over £6,000 to Hamish,
Encouraging.
who's hoping to make space for his girlfriend Lucy to move in. But will he be happy to sell? First, it's the occasional table which attracted Brenda and Karen.
So tell me a little bit about it.
I bought it from a local antique centre 5 years ago, hoping it was old.
Well, there's certainly a lot of features about it that look early 19th century. It's got a lovely cross-banded mahogany top. It's got a pretty little bit of inlay here with these sort of lamps. And the other thing is if you open it up, the drawer linings and the base of the drawers look a lot later.
Right.
Now, the dealers all had a look at this and they certainly thought it was a later copy, but they still want to take it home. Independent valuation on this is roughly between £100 and £200. What did you pay, Hamish?
I think I'd have paid the low hundreds, so 120, 130, I think.
OK. Well, Karen has left you 150.
That's close.
Are you tempted to sell at that?
I am. Be interesting to see what the other person's offered.
Brenda says 95.
Right. No. Well, in that case,
£150.
150.
Cash today.
Yeah, that's true. And I wouldn't be too upset to see it go, so I'm happy to let it go for 150.
Fantastic. We've got a deal.
We have.
Lovely little bit, so the time it would go anywhere. No, really pleased with that.
Next, Karen was the only dealer to bid on that 1970s studio pottery lamp, which Hamish is keen to sell.
It was the shade that attracted me the most.
The shade rather than the lamp base?
Yes, interestingly.
Ah.
Yeah, I was going to use it for something else, but then decided it'd be a shame to separate them. So they're now together and very much up for grabs. So I'm glad someone's bid on that.
Karen has left you a bid, and
Okay.
Karen says 45.
It's very close to what I paid for it.
Well, our independent valuer has put about £70 to £100 on this with the
Right.
shade.
Yeah.
What did you pay?
I paid £38.
Little bit of profit.
Yeah, a little bit of profit, but I'm happy to see it go.
Quite sure?
Yeah, very much so.
Fantastic, we have a sale.
I don't know what she's thinking of, really. I thought it was hideous.
It might not light up everyone, but find out later if Karen has the last laugh and ends up selling for a profit. Next, it's the pair of mirrors that look like they're Queen Anne from the early 1700s.
How old do you think they are?
I've often wondered if they're very good reproduction or if they are actually Regency.
Well, I think that the mirrors themselves have some age to them.
Right.
But the frames are much newer.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because if we have a little look, that's very new and
Yes.
black painted.
Oh, interesting.
So a bit of a mixture.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to place this down on your table because it's pretty heavy, all that glass, and tell you we've got 2 bids.
Good.
OK. Now, Tim thought these were reproductions. In fact, he even thought the glass was quite late.
Right.
Tim has bid you £130. How do you feel about that?
Well, let's see what the other one has to say.
Let me maybe tell you just before that our independent valuer has put £200 to £300 on these.
Right.
Brenda says 180.
It's a tricky one. £180. I think I'll decline.
No sale.
No sale.
Well, they do look great there, don't they?
Yes, they do look good there, and it's an awkward space, and they fill the gap very nicely.
I quite understand that because they are lovely interior design pieces, and yeah, they'd go for a lot more than that just on the interior design market.
So the mirrors are staying, which is perhaps fitting as they look so good either side of Hamish's patio doors. But what else did he decide to keep? Well, he said no to Tim's offer for the riding boots and decided he couldn't do without his chest-on-chest, turning down Karen's bid of £800. And he felt that Tim's offer of £30 for the giant cloth scissors just didn't cut it. Now, will Brenda and Karen's offers for his large Victorian gilt wall mirror reflect the value Hamish places on it?
Tell me about this.
This was left behind by someone that did live here with me for a while, and she decided that I could have it.
Do you like it?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'll tell you 2 other people like it too, because up here we have 2 bids. Karen has bid you £280.
No, that's not going to tempt me.
OK. Definite no to Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda says 300.
I have to say, I was hoping for a little bit more. Having seen them around, with that moulding around the frame, I'm going to have to say no again, I'm afraid.
OK. Our independent valuer has said £300 to £400 on this.
Oh, OK, that's interesting.
But I think actually in the right place, it might make a bit more than that.
Yes.
Because it is a great size. People do like large mirrors.
Yes.
And I know how much Brenda and Karen want this mirror.
Oh,
and
okay.
actually there's only £20 between their bids.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring them back in and ask them if they consider leaving you another bid.
Oh, OK.
Which might change your mind.
It might well.
Come on in, ladies.
Hiya.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Hamish.
Brenda, Karen, this is Hamish.
Hello, Hamish.
Hi, morning.
Nice to meet you.
We are talking about Hamish's gilt mirror here.
OK.
At the moment, neither of you have got it, because Hamish has declined both your bids.
Why is that then?
Now, Hamish, what do you have to say to the dealers?
Well, twist my arm.
So are you selling it?
It was left behind by a previous girlfriend, and I know that...
He's going to
He's gonna sell it.
We can twist his arm.
Definitely go for it.
Now, if you want to bid,
OK.
do so now.
OK.
2 new bids. Brenda says 465.
Ooh. OK. That's strong.
Hang on a minute.
Does that mean I've got it?
Karen says 350, please.
The please is very nice, but we'll go with Brenda's bid, I think.
Have we got a sale?
Yes, we've had a sale.
Yes.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Thank you very
Hamish.
much.
Thank you.
Wow, 465. Brenda really wanted that, didn't she?
I've just sold a gilt mirror, so that saves me going anywhere else to look for one.
Brenda also bought a Victorian painted framed wall mirror and the London street sign, while Karen went home with a 1940s biscuit tin. Hamish wanted to have a clear out to make room for his girlfriend to move in. With over £6,000 on the table, just how much has he managed to sell?
Well, you have held on to quite a bit, but you still managed to make today £1,425.
Well, thank you very much. That's brilliant news.
So where's that going to go, Hamish? Any ideas?
So I'm hoping that Lucy and I can go off together and find things for the house together.
So actually, after today, this is no longer really just a bachelor pad, is it?
No, I'm looking forward to that.
Our homeowners today have walked away with over £3,000 from the secret dealers. But just how wisely did our dealers buy? Well, Karen did make a profit on that studio pottery lamp, but just a little one, selling it for £55. And she liked the occasional table so much it's made its way into her home. Brenda is currently lining up a buyer for the gilt mirror. And David Tutman still has that silver and cut glass inkwell, but he has sold the pair of 19th century Chinese vases for £350. And what are our homeowners doing with their cash? Francis and Winifred have spent their money on repairs to their traveller's truck so they can take to the road again. And Hamish and Lucy are planning to go shopping to buy items for the house together.